So till the 5 years, that data should be stored for the review of the government. Then ethics committee, we have also talked, then standard operating procedures. That is the SOP. We have in department SOP also, like what kind of activity we are doing into the our day-to-day uh, practice. I mean, like in the lab, we should have our SOP that in an animal house, if we go, then we should do this way, we should feed this way, we should give water to them to this way, we should discard their, beddings and everything. So those SOPs are developed. Then investigator qualification. So we have also like studied about that. Like the person should be a qualified in terms of the uh, physical. Sorry, I mean by education. That physician or the MBBS person should be there as an investigator. Then a regulatory requirement. So this is new regulation which came up after many fraudulent activity has been observed, like globally as well as in India also. So some of the trials they have started with the audio and video recording. So like a cancer trial patient who is like struggling for their life. So they have been asked to give, audio video consent in terms of the like that the person who is going into the study, the same person is giving the consent. What happens and found by the quality audits that someone was consenting on behalf of someone, so that was not sure that particular deceased person has been involved into that particular trial. So that's why they have started with the audio video recording. Then minimum standard qualification also they came up that a video camera should be there, a room should be there, a image is recognizable, and then a audio clearly. Like any trial, there will be an investigator will be taking you as a subject that you should go with the investigator. Then investigator will discuss with you that this is the study you want to take part. These are the benefits. These are the risks. This kind of medicine will be given, and you will be taking part in terms of like a 6 month study, 1 year study. So all this kind of information will be given in one to one from investigator to the participant. Then storage and archival of the audio video recording. Then you should be storing them at least 5 years in terms of CD or maybe USB drive or in your system. Now these are the there was a warning letters. What kind of warning letters are coming up? I don't see which. So these are the things in terms of like audit findings. So FDA will inspect. You have heard in the pharmaceutical industry that US FDA has visited the plant and they have given the audit observation or no audit observation. In audit observation, what they will see the process, they will see the documentation, they will see the records, how they are written, they will see the qualification of the person, then they will see the informed consent forms has been signed or not, and all the legal obligations. These are like in the warning letters they will give in terms of the outputs. Now, this is all we have seen about the clinical research and their requirements and regulations and everything. Now we are all students of the pharmacology and pharmacy practice, so we also know the preclinical trials and clinical trials and their processes. And I don't need to go much in detail, but I thought like also let's enlighten on the preclinical trials and clinical trials are the in how they are different. So preclinical trials and clinical trials are the process by which like you people or a scientist or an investigator or any person who is, testing the drug and device to see its safety and efficacy in terms of the effectiveness into the human beings or in animals. Now, what is preclinical trials? That is what pharmacology and pharmacy practice people are doing, as well as, maybe here there are pharmacognosy student will be there. Also, there will be pharmaceutical chemistry, QA people are there. So preclinical trials are the testing of the drug into the animal subject to see their, the treatment which they are, molecule has been designed, or any chemical we have developed or derived from the plants or anything that is giving the output, that is in terms of the treatment like inflammation response or maybe other kind of response in animals. And post these safety establishments in animal, the drug will go into the actual human testing. Now there are two type of research. One is the basic research and one is the applied research. So basic research is like discovering the new facts about the how like the particular, biological event or maybe a drug is, giving the response in terms of the explore to us, like explain how it occurs, and it will describe to us that, this kind of mRNA molecules or have been developed and that will be used to treat. And second one is the applied research. So taking the information discovered into the basic research, we are investigating further that this kind of use of molecule will treat and prevent the disease. So that is come into the applied research. So what we are like in India, I say like we are doing around 10% of the basic research or applied research. Rest all will be done by rest of the world. And in terms of the pharma industry, what we are developing is like we are manufacturing hub. So we are making a production at large scale and supplying to the global world. But in terms of the drug research, most of the drug research is in terms of the initial stage level or basic research, then molecule development, then that initial phase one trials, those are all done out of India. They are all doing their initial stage work, and then those trials are coming up as a phase two, phase three global trials, and those molecule has been tested in Indian population. Now, this is the stages of the preclinical molecule, which we are like identify a drug target, then develop a assay, then screen and drug assay. That is what we are doing in pharmacology. Then toxicity dose and effectiveness doses establishment, and then getting the approval as an investigational new drug. That IND will then go into the clinical trial stage. Now, what we are targeting is the a drug or maybe a genetic molecule or maybe a cell line structure or anything or stem cells. We need to select a particular target, and that is all done by the scientists who are developing a technique like you people, or maybe a scientist in the corporation, or maybe a government scientist. They are targeting particular disease. Now, this is the what we have learned, the objective of the research, clinical research, that is designing of the particular therapeutic drug, and then find the way to how to treat the disease, and then determine the safety and efficacy, then develop a new drug, and then scientific data has been generated, and that data will be submitted to the government, and it will be drug will be marketed into the use of the human beings. Now we come to the clinical research that I initially talk about, that it is done on the healthy patients as well as on the healthy volunteers. Sorry, on a diseased patient and on a healthy volunteers. So what is the difference between here is called V as a clinical trial versus BAB studies. Now, these are the phases of clinical trials we have. that is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. And then in phase 4, it will go to marketing. Then this is the healthy volunteer study that is we called as a BAB studies. That is bioavailability and bioequivalence study. So what happens here, like they are trying to see the rate and extent a molecule is getting the on the systematic pathway and circulation. So what happens, like a drug will be injected in, or maybe drug will be taken by mouth, then it will go to the stomach, small intestine, then absorption, large intestine, and excretion. Similarly, if we are giving in bloodstream, then it will go to the bloodstream, then kidney, excretion, liver, and metabolism. So this is the BAB studies pathway, that either you are giving orally or injectable. And then in a BAB study, they will be measuring the equivalence. So there are two substances. One is the taste substance and one is the reference substance. So in BAB, they are giving the taste as well as the trial drug. And the reference product which is already into the market. So what India is doing right now is they are waiting for the expiration of patent of particular drug that is developed by the global companies, and then that drug will be manufactured again the trial drugs. So both comparison of the efficacy and safety of the particular drug has been done into the BAB study. Once they establish that this drug is giving the same response and same efficacy and equivalence to particular taste drug, and then they will manufacturing the taste drug in India. So this is the reference and taste drug concept. Then the experimental studies, which we called as a clinical trials in terms of interventions. So that is what in trials we are doing. These are the phases of trial I want to explain in detail here. So in phase 1, like there are small number of populations. So healthy volunteers or maybe a disease volunteer, if like a disease is like cancer or anything. So in that kind of patient, those drugs are very cytotoxics. So that drug cannot be, given to the healthy patient. So they are directly tested onto the actual patients. So that is in phase 1, around 10 to 15 volunteers will be there. Then in phase 2, it will like if they establish the safety of the particular drug, they will go to the phase 2. In phase 2, it will be like around 20 to 50 subject will be or participant human beings will be enrolled into the phase 2. So in phase 2, they will decide the dose ranges, like which kind of dose it is effective, or which kind of dose is good for the human beings. So there are multiple doses they try, 2 milligram, 4 milligram, 8 milligram, like that. Then third one come to the phase 3, that is the large study. In that particular study, like around more than say 100 to thousands people are enrolled in phase 3 trials. So in large scale, they see the treatment outcome in terms of the efficacy and safety of the drug. Once this phase 3 trial has been completed, then they will go with the data with the regulators and they submit it to the government organization like CDSC or DCGI to get the particular product marketing approval. So that is the post phase 3 requirement. And phase 4 is the called as the post marketing in generally. Once the drug has been approved into the market, the drug will be continue into the market, and the outcome of the data in terms of the phase 4 trial will be collected from the different doctors or different investigators, or like directly also from the patient. Now this is all I have discussed about the part of the clinical and preclinical concept. So now actually this question comes when you come out from the your education, maybe like B Farm, M Farm, or maybe PhD, or any kind of education you complete, and you see your opportunities as a student. what kind of career opportunities as a student you will be getting after your course. So these are like some of the roles which are in clinical trials as well as into the regulatory agencies or regulatory organization, then research and development, then quality control, production and manufacturing. Then you will be seeing also like chemist as a pharmacist shop, then also drug regulatory affairs. Then some of the you might go into government jobs like drug inspectors or maybe ICR or like ICMR scientists. Then some like go into the pharmacovigilance. That is, the post-marketing data that is generated by the government after, drug has been into the market. Then other role is like you will be a technical advisor also, some of the having the very sound knowledge of the technical experience. Then other opportunities is now we are now things are developing like the foreign countries, that clinical practice concept. That is also, some of the hospitals trying to establish that, pharmacists should dispense the medication only, not a other unauthorized person. So that is also like coming up concept that in India, and how it will be successful based on the our systems changes and government regulation will be stringent and that kind of things. The other one is the forensic pharmacy. That is also people are trying to make it when some like accidental cases, murder or death or that kind of things. Forensic pharmacy is also establishing their footprints. The other one thing is device trials. So that is also now India is coming up with the more stringent regulation and overseeing of the medical device studies as well. So that is also one of the area where you can take your career. Now these are the different roles in clinical research. The first, investigator, then coordinator, project manager, medical monitor, clinical trial assistant, clinical research associate, medical writer or report writer role, then phlebotomist or pharmacist, nursing role, then bioanalytical role, QA role, then regulatory affairs, clinical data management, biostatistics, and pharmacovigilance. So these are all the roles which you can, you know, uh, take it after your education completion, or maybe you are interested in some of the roles you can, try from the your, let's say after completion of the first year, you should try to establish that in which area you want to go. So you will get idea from the initial first year that I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to go in this area. And then you make a, I say like from first year you thought that I will be taking a pharmacology course, then I will go into the maybe basic pharmacology research or maybe clinical research or maybe like any academics. So these are all thought processes you should start from the first year when you take your admission in MPharm. Then in third semester, what we call as a second year, you should have your CV ready and everything should be ready. And most important is the LinkedIn profile. How many of you have a LinkedIn profile here? I think 70%, 80% have. Those who don't have, they should, have your profile updated with your education information, your experience, your project work. You can add it, your achievements, like in terms of anything, like if you have a organize a seminar or if you have a volunteer for any kind of activities in college level, all those you should add into their profile, your profile. That will give not only for you to market yourself, but the recruiter who is looking from your college, that RC Patel College student is there and what is their profile, they can see the directly your profile in LinkedIn professional membership. They don't need to connect with you. There is the LinkedIn, we have a two kind of profile. One is the free membership and one is the professional in membership. So in professional membership, all the company recruiter they can see your profile directly without connecting with you. And they can download, they can contact you, and they can call also you if you have a number in Android. Now, these are the roles and responsibilities which I said about medical writers. They need to design and trial design protocols, ICF, CRF designing, all those things come into the medical writing. Then medical monitoring, which generally it will be like a medical graduates or maybe a pharmacologist, PhD, or maybe a MD physician. They are medical monitors, and they will provide the overall medical oversight of the any kind of medical events or judgments they need to take in terms of trial participant. Then investigators, we have talked, that is also a qualified MBBS or MD or MS. That will be investigator BDS person. Then we have a roles of project managers. So that is what I have done. Like we have to oversee the entire trial project in terms of from contacting the client or sponsor and contacting the site. So we are the like a middle person who is working with all the people. That is we called as a stakeholders. That is stakeholders. It comes as a sponsor, investigator, statistician, data management, pharmacovigilance. Everyone come and call the project manager that I have this difficulty or where we are in terms of the trial stage or where we are with the project. That is the role of the project manager. Then a project coordinator who is, your after MFARM, this is the first step you can start with your career as a project coordinator. I have started my career initially like I was under with my guide Bothra sir as a lecturer for 6 months. Then I have started with Novo Nordisk as a clinical research assistant, and my salary was 7,000 only. So right now people are seeing that people want from starting day 25,000, 50,000 their expectation. That is not going to happen. If you go into the industry, there is the minimum range. Each organization is deciding that each organization has a slab. That if a person is, coming into the company, the MFARM candidate will start with his salary range of 1.5 lakhs to the 2.5 or 3 lakhs. That is the basic start salary currently. So don't expect at initial stage that you will get, more amount when you join. There are the organization also, they are, starting with the 3 lakhs also. But this is the minimum standard I am saying that you should not expect, from the day one that I should get this much and then only I will accept this job. Start with your career in industry if you are really want to go in industry at whatever the minimum salary they are offering. And mostly in around 2 to 5 years, you will be getting double or triple also. If you are having, experience in industry. If you go into the, academics and then you try to in industry, you will be considered as a freshers only. You will not be considered as a academic experience is there and experienced people, they will, try to get you. So if anyone of you are interested into the industry, you should try from initial stage only. And the salary they offer, you should start. I have an example of Kiran's brother's son, Nikhil. I think he has passed out from here only. Nikhil Patil. Nikhil Patil has joined Cliantha Research as a trainee clinical research assistant, and he was like paid around what I remember is around 7 to 10,000. So within 6 months, he has been now going to a permanent employee from 22nd January onwards. What I got information, and he will be paid in range of 3.5 to 4.5 around. So that is, if you prove yourself in your organization, you will be getting, higher amount as well. So there is no limiting industry. If you are proving yourself as a, great candidate or great person for work, then there is no limit in salary also. Then role is phlebotomist. Generally, it is done by BSc or DMLT people. But some of the pharmacies also they try to support phlebotomist in terms of where the logistic part. Then pharmacist is the our important role, which in terms of dispensing of the taste drug, then standard drugs and everything. Then we have a nursing also, like they are supporting to the investigator. Then analyst and bioanalyst. So this is basically the pharmacology people also go in this. Then pharmacy practice, then pharmaceutical chemistry people, QA people also go into the as an analyst role. Then CTA, the role which I was talking for Nikhil. Then clinical research associate. From CTA to CRA, I have started my career in Novo Nordisk. That is, initially I joined as a trainee CTA, and then they have confirmed me in 1 month as a CRA. So I was, remote based in Ahmedabad. So our work is to oversee the trial as a monitor and inspect the data what doctor has generated. Then those data are actual, and they are real time data. It's not like that I have done the work today and I have documented tomorrow. It should be documented when data has been collected and with date and sign. So that is the requirement of the industry. Then regulatory affairs, that is also like you can choose as a career in terms of the uh, like regulatory filing. Some of the people have regulatory filing like documentation and in terms of their hobby, that I am very perfect into the documentation. Those people can go into the regulatory affairs department, because that is the document which is prepared for the government as a dossier, and it should be very accurate without any error, so that the drug approval and their process will be hampered without delay in timelines. Then clinical data management, that is the electronic data capture system, EDC, which we called as a ECRF. Whatever the data which we are generating at the site or hospital, that is all transcribed into the electronic data capture system, that is EDC. And this data will be monitored and observed by the people which are doing a role in data management. So M-Farm people are there, B-Farm there, even BHMS, BAMS, BDS people are also, in this role they are trying. Then biostatistician role. In general, I have seen that people with the pharmacy background or statistical background, they generally go into the biostatistician role. And they are like maybe doing one additional course of the statistics, or maybe directly they are learning themselves and they are getting a job as a biostatistician in industry. And this is the QA role, that is the versatile in each and every industry of the pharmaceutical, like in CRO or in sponsor side, or maybe any small pharma organization, QA role will be there. So QA is generally, I have seen that female candidate more prefer to go in QA role because they don't want to either change or they don't want to travel somewhere. So that role has been preferred more by the female candidates. There are also male candidates also, they go in QA role also. But that is the on-site quality audits. So they need to travel a lot and they have to inspect the site. They need to see the data over the like on-site visit, what FDA and all the government agency go and do. The report writing role, that is the post-clinical trial. Every trial has a one report, like our thesis. Once we do our thesis project, we need to write a thesis, and that should be submitted to the university, and then only we are getting our degree, right? So similarly, for clinical trial, there should be a report should be prepared. That report will give in and out of the study, and that data will be submitted to the agency for approval of the drug. So those who have a good writing skills as well as good knowledge of the terminologies in terms of scientific terms, disease terms, then physiology terms. Those are interested in writing, they can make a career, and this is the a very good option that you can work from anywhere, like remotely also you can work. There is no need to go to office in report writing role. Next one is the pharmacovigilance, that is the post-marketing data study. Safety data of the particular drug has been, reviewed. This is also you can go from anywhere, like from your home or from office. The pharmacovigilance career is also a good one. Now we have a Q&A session, and thank you very much all for listening me peacefully. And if you have any questions related to the query or any kind of question, if you are not able to get during my session, we can discuss right now one by one.
Participants can ask a question.
Not only participants, faculty members also you can. Anything you need to, any guidance related to your job career, interview, or maybe how you want to go, what should you prepare. Apart from this topic also, I am happy to share whatever the knowledge I have in terms of the interview preparation also I will guide you. So don't think that you should ask the question related to the clinical research only. So ask any question. Maximum possible I will give my response.
विदाउट माइक पूछ लो, विदाउट माइक पूछ लो, कोई बात.
Thank you, sir, first of all, giving such information about the clinical research. So basically, sir, my question is about to, as a fresher, I want to get a job in a role of a clinical research associate. So as a clinical pharmacist, what basic knowledge should I carry to pursue that means job role in a industry orientation?
Sure. Basically, you are in a clinical practice and pharmacy course, right? So you have like clinical research related, some trials related education curriculum, or maybe any kind of theoretical sessions will be there. As a clinical pharmacy course, if you are getting like a supportive practical experience in terms of any hospital nearby or where you are basically located, if you go in vacation, right? Some of the nearby hospital, if you find that there is a trial ongoing and you can just with your reference or someone's reference go and oversee how the trial is conducted, how the trial is done, and get the on-site practical experience, that will be helpful to get the knowledge as well as experience that which field you want to go. So one suggestion I will give you this. Second thing, while you are preparing for the your third semester or maybe your dissertation time, just go through the material available over the internet, as well as also there are the trial design freely available on CTRI website, government website. There are how many trials ongoing across the India that is freely available for you. You can see which hospital of your city is taking part in which trial. You can see easily with your free access. So that kind of search you can do it and find out and go over there. And what kind of studies are ongoing. So create your interest in that. Let's say like currently the globally oncology is on the top of the world. That is, trials are ongoing. Second number is cardio-diabetic studies. So all cardiac and diabetic population are day by day increasing. So that is the second population studies ongoing. And third one is the neuroscience. So these 3-4 indications which are like, globally, they are accepting more. So get the therapeutic knowledge of that particular disease area or that particular physiology or whatever the information you can get. So and what happens that you have a knowledge of all the requirement as an interview candidate. So you need to prepare from third semester onwards, or maybe at the max at the fourth semester you should start searching yourself. Not like the organization or institute will, they are trying the placements and everything at their end, but you should, try proactively at yourself also. That identify which CRO are there, which organization, which center is, CRO is close by to. Some people are having, homesickness tendency. They don't want to go out of their periphery, especially in females I have seen. They don't want to, go from hometown to the other city as well. So those kind of tendency you should leave it when you are, starting your career or making your career. So try to, get the jobs wherever you are getting. Don't think about location. Many people are coming from far away location to study here, right? Similarly, you should go at that location to do a job. And once you are a well experienced, let's say 2 to 5 years experience, you can try to come back to your hometown or nearby your hometown. I have started in Ahmedabad, but I have landed in Bangalore and US. So I have not thought that, that I should not go to the Bangalore. Why I should go? Because by train at that time we used to go 36 hours from my hometown in Bhavnagar to Ahmedabad to Bangalore. So I have not thought that, why should I go there? But I want to make a career in clinical research because my dissertation was in purely in clinical research. I have done my dissertation in Gujarat Cancer Research Institute and on the molecular level. So at that level, during my dissertation only, I developed the interest into the clinical research that I should, make my career here. Because I was working with the all cancer patients, all cancer doctors, as well as the, all research staff over there during the dissertation. So that's why I'm saying try to see and, explore nearby if you can go to the hospital or site and learn over there. And then you can make your career from third semester or fourth semester onward to start looking out for jobs in that particular. So that will be helpful. Thank you.
Sir, I have a question about what kind of guidelines
Or documents are really used in the clinical research.
We have a global guidance is ICH GCP E6R2. So that is the current regulation right now. And it's freely available. If you search in the Google ICH GCP E6R2, you will get PDF ready-made from their official website only. And second one is the Indian GCP. That is also available freely. If you search Indian GCP guideline or biomedical research guidance, that is also available freely. So you can both the guidance document read and understand yourself. And if you come across any kind of difficulty or question, my information is with department. Anytime you can reach out via email or via phone calls. So I'm available. So that is what I can say to learn safely. And there are ready presentations also available that if you want to learn in terms of quickly or without reading the entire guidance also, you can see the step-by-step presentation.
As a fresher, in which area we should start our career? As a preclinical scientist or as clinical scientist?
See, this is good question. I said, but I would say, what is your interest? First of all, thought on that where you want to go, either as a clinical research or as a preclinical research. Because as I said, like preclinical research is having the limited number of organizations working on that, as well as number of opportunities are limited. Whereas clinical research is having the multiple roles for you, and you can go into that direction also. So thought on that, like where you want to go. Some of the person, they have an interest into the preclinical only. They want to learn and explore with the animals, and they like doing the dissections and everything, and they want to explore more and more on animal studies. So they go into the animals studies only. So that is development of your interest will be the first point. Second point, if you think based on the whatever the you are getting an education and you are doing that I am doing a study in pharmacology and then I will go into the clinical research human area. So that is the second thought process, that it will be your like or dislike. But start to thinking on from third semester onward, not at the end. When you land at your result of M pharmacy and you see starting a job, like getting a job is difficult because you have not made efforts, right? So if you want to start your career at the end of the day when you have your results or when you complete your course, and without results also many people are joining into the industry. They are awaiting the organization HR base say like it is fine that you join right now. Whenever your results will come, we will see and we will make you a permanent at that time. They will hire you as a trainee. So start thinking from third STEM onward or a second year and see where you can, get the jobs. Search on the LinkedIn, search on the job portals. Many now it's internet or information is so freely available. You can see daily updates also. There is one website is called Pharma Tutor. In that you will get everyday alerts if you subscribe. And you have a choice also over there. You are M.Pharm pharmacology, you are a M.Pharm or a B.Pharm graduates, you are BDS, PHMS. So those kind of job portals also you can subscribe from your M.Pharmacy first year only and see what kind of opportunities coming up and you can try it. So that way you can develop your career. Either you go in preclinical or clinical, that is the other choice, but you should start searching from the beginning. And when you start from searching beginning, at the end of your course, you will have a job. But if you start at the end, you will have 1 year you have to sit at home. Sometimes people are not getting job because they have thought that we will get a job easily. So getting a job is not as easy as earlier it was. Nowadays it is required skill, knowledge, how you perform into the interview, how you give your answer during the interview. That is also important. I would say, let's say example, when we start interview of any candidate, so we will ask initially their basic information. From where are you, what are you doing, what you have done, education, family background, then where you are staying or what is your native place, why you came here, like that. And then we ask technical questions. They try to make us around, or like they say whatever we have asked question, instead of they are giving the round answer. So interviewer will basically know that he don't have any knowledge. So my suggestion is whenever you are giving the interview, if you know, then you say yes sir I know and give answer. If you don't know, upfront you say sir I don't know. The interviewer will be happy that he has say truly that he don't know, and he will come on next question. But if you try to make him round, then he will dig out. He will go very deep inside. If it is not the straightforward answer. So these are some tips which is you can take it, and the job profile which you are going for interview. Let's say if you are going for a clinical trial assistant or a clinical research associate or anything, just see the job responsibilities which you have upfront before interview, that you are going for this role, because the interviewer as a fresher, he or she will ask first question Do you know what kind of job you will be going to do? You know what kind of responsibility you will be having when you join. And when you say like, sir, I don't know, or I don't know, or round answers, then they will make it upfront that this candidate has not at all read the responsibility as a. Third thing, the organization. Learn about the organization. Whichever organization you are going for interview, let's say my organization, if you are coming for interview, go through their website, what kind of work they are doing, what kind of trial they are doing, where their locations are there. Some of the CROs are like doing the rare kind of disease, which are hardly you will get around 10 patients across India. That kind of rare disease trial are doing CROs also there. So those kind of CROs, if you are going for an interview, then you should learn for that as well while doing the interview. So think on that also.
I'm currently in my second sem.
चल सर
Just a second.
ये चलेगा सुनेंगे
हाँ मैं स्विच ऑफ किया फिर आप
Yes, sir. On my
Sir, I'm currently in my second sem. So, what extra activities apart from my academic career, academic studies that I can do to boost my career whenever I will starting clinical research?
So you are in second sem, right? So first year student. So you can, in terms of if you are specifically, interest into the clinical research and you want to make your career into the clinical research, then you should see this guidance first. That what are the ICGCP guidance, then Indian GCP guidance, then
basis of the trial. You can see how many phases what I have explained, phase 1, 2, 3, 4, but you should more dig out what is the BAB studies. Those readings will helpful to get the additional knowledge apart from your curriculum knowledge. So whatever you are learning into the curriculum, that is all there in your curriculum, right? You need to learn and you need to pass exams and everything you need to do. But when you want to go into the career as a clinical research assistant or associate, you should learn about that particular clinical research requirements. So basically ICH-GCP guidance is the best option, that it will give entire knowledge about the clinical research. So you can read that in your free time and you can learn clinical research.
Is there any compulsion to do any internship or any other course apart from my academic?
There is as such no requirement, but many people after B.Pharm, if they are not going for master, they opt for the short-term 6-month course like
online course or maybe offline course also. But being a M.Pharm, I see there is as such no requirement to do. If you are getting a free course, there are like, Duke University. They are giving a free course on clinical research. You can learn freely. There is no need to, pay them. And if you are getting during your, this second semester or third semester free time, search a free clinical research course in Google. There are multiple universities, they are catering freely. There is no need to pay. So you can learn by that way also. Sure. QA person is like, they are generally overseeing the data quality. So at a site level, let's say at the hospital, I will say, when they will go in the hospital, what they will see protocol has been followed. They will do thorough audit of the data. They will see the site facility like you have. If you are a pharmacology student, you have a CPSC inspection, right? So they will see entire facility. They will see each and every document. They will see how you have maintained the temperature of the room. The mice has been, kept, or guinea pig has been kept. They will see the storage of their, food and everything. They will see the sample storage which has been drawn from them. So all these things will be, as a quality auditor person or a QA person, you will go at site, you will see, verify, then you will prepare a report on that. That this many observations or findings I have seen, and these are okay. So that role will be as a quality assurance auditor, your will be. That is at site level. When you come to the CRO or a pharma company level, you will see the internal processes, that how the protocol has been developed, how the regulatory approval has taken. So all those documentation work on it you will do. And if there is any observation, you can share with the project manager. And there will be a corrective and preventive action. That is we called in industry as a CAPA. So CAPA action will be taken, and then the issue will be closed. So that is the role QA person will do. But basically, in clinical research, it will be a documentation entirely. And if you go into the pharma company or like a production unit, there will be you have a on-site observation as a quality. Like there are the batch preparation is ongoing. That's a manufacturing of tablet is ongoing. So how much quantity of powder has been prepared, how many tablet has been come out, then it will go to the dissolution testing, then it will come after approval that product is okay. Then there will be a packaging, then there will be labeling, then there will be a final box preparation and everything. So that is the ongoing QA role is also there. So that is also can be done.
Yes, yes. Research. Next term क्या था?
Just a second.
What are the major problems faced by research associate when they are doing the clinical trials?
So this is good technical deep question, I would say. Research associates are two kind of. One is at site level and one at CRO or sponsor level. Site level research associate, what they find difficulty is getting a subject or a patient for a study. Second thing, patient compliance. When they enroll any patient into the trial, they find that they are calling multiple times, but they are not coming to the site for study visits or study assessments. Then they are not cooperative with, taking a medication. What is, in trial, they have to take like daily dose or alternate dose or like that. So these are the obstacle faced by that site level. When we see as a monitor, as a researcher field, we go to the hospital and we see the record. The informed consent was not properly signed. Either the subject has signed and investigator has forgot. Then there is no record of the vital signs, like BP was not measured, protocol requirement was there. Then there was a EDC data entry was incomplete. Like whatever the source is there is no data entry with system. Then there is the ethics committee approval or notification is not there, because their ethics committee should give the trial approval to start. So if there is not approval is not there, they cannot start the trial. So this kind of issue, the most thing is like temperature related also. There is the requirement of trial drugs should be stored between 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. So general room temperature, sometimes it goes above the 30, 35 also. So what site will do? They will keep just on the desk. And when we see the trial temperature was 35, the drug is no use. Because the sponsor or client will not approve because it's not maintain this temperature requirement. And there are cases that the sample collected, it got deteriorated. When patient they have collected, they have not seen, they just collected and kept into the freezer. When we go and see, the sample was deteriorated, or there are half size of sample. In trial, it was required 1 ml, they have collected 0.5 ml. The refrigerator temperature also 2 to 8 was not maintained, or minus 20 is not maintained. So these are the difficulties which we are seeing. Sometimes we see a fraudulent also, that there are no subject at all, and they have given medication and it was kept into their cupboard. They are daily, one tablet flowing into the dustbin. So that kind of activity also some investigators try to do. But they generally, whatever they are, if they are making this kind of work, they generally caught behind. Somewhere they will make a mistake. So this kind of identification as a monitor, as a research associate, we are doing in clinical research.
Continue question.
Take maximum benefit of me. I have a personal income, so.
Sir, I have another question, that is, currently we are using ICH E6 R2 guideline. So which are covering the most of the parameter required for the conduction of clinical trial. So why there is a need of new guideline, that is a I6 E6 R3 guideline.
So that is the addendum. Anything which is, earlier ICH GCP E6 were there, then R1 was came, R2, R3. So day by day, we have a development of the more systems. There is the, in one slide I have, I think, covered the, cost. No, so it is basically the requirement of the current, we can say, environment. Because there are day by day more system is coming up. Initially, when I have joined as a clinical research associate, there was only paper filing. So we were not, having this kind of anything not in electronics. We were all printing in system and filing into the record. There is no hard drive storage or anything. There was in terms of like storage. So we need to make a paper-based file completely. Then there is the evolution of electronic trial master file, ETMF came up. So in ETMF, everything has been gone into the paperless. There is no need to, scan and then now you can upload and no need to keep a record, paper-based record. Now what comes right now, we are not using that method also. Right now we are using digitally signed. There is no need to print as well. It is documented with your signature, name, date, and time. At what time and from which login ID this document has been signed. So that is the now current system. So there is no need to printing also. So this all development has been covered into the amendments. That this kind of system, if you are using, it should be a HIPAA compliance is there. There are FDA compliance is there. Then confidentiality compliance is there. So all this compliance needs to be covered into the guidelines, and that's why they are doing amendments. Then earlier it was a sponsor was, after trial, they are just taking their hands up and then they said like, we don't want to pay this patient, he was died. But in foreign country, there is the minimum insurance requirement was there. In India, it was not there. Because they just pay some amount and they ran away, like sponsor it was. So this all stringent regulation has been, added into the amendments. That sponsor oversight is must. There is a must minimum requirement of insurance. Any kind of, adverse event or serious adverse event, all the costs should be bear by the sponsor. So these all additional requirements are added into the E3 amendment. There are also the quality oversight, also compliance quality oversight. That is also more stringent has been created now in E3 regulations. But that is not yet approved, so it's in draft stage right now. But in E2, it is now current ongoing.
Any more question? Interview related, any questions? Anyone has given any interview from here?
No, sir, but how to prepare for interview exams?
For interview preparation, basically, as I said, like, there are some of the tips we can say. A mock interview you can either see it online or YouTube, or maybe some of your friends, not like known but unknown from each department, you can conduct a mock interview kind of question answer sessions. That is also helpful. And you can prepare interview in terms of knowledge, that for which kind of interview, that is like clinical research, preclinical research, or quality. Those background information you can prepare yourself, and you go for interview. Apply for the jobs and try to see based on your BPharm education you are getting any calls. So that is also, you can got a chance to give a mock interview. And during interview also you can say that I am pursuing right now MPharmacy, or that kind of. So that is also helpful.
We have more questions.
So I will take few questions from the YouTube, which the participants have posted. There's a question from Jnaneshwari Matte that being a QA role, what is the QA role in clinical research, whether it is offered to a fresher or not?
QA role as a trainee, it will be offered. So similarly, like a trainee clinical trial assistant or trainee clinical research associate, you will be offered a trainee clinical QA associate. So that is CQA we call in clinical research industry, and in general it is called as a QA. So you will definitely try in QA that you may get the clinical QA role, but make sure you get the proper knowledge of the clinical research QA role before you are applying or appearing for an interview. So that will be helpful for to crack the interview.
So there's another question that what will be the best practices as a fresher to search for and reach to the job opportunities from different CROs?
I would suggest, first of all, make your LinkedIn profile. Then if you are looking job in particular city, then see that particular city into that LinkedIn job profile, that this city has a particular role available or not. Then try to see by CRO names. So if you find a clinical research organization in LinkedIn or Google, you will see the Indian CRO names, and go to their LinkedIn profile and see their job postings, or go to their website. Ideally, I would suggest LinkedIn and their website will be the best, because day-to-day update will be done on both the portals. Sometimes their website will be the more updated as compared to the LinkedIn. So try to see their website in career section, search over there, and you will find a particular job roles with responsibility and name and location. And then you can apply directly over there also. So that is the also a good option that you can try and explore.
So the last one that I have done, there's a candidate called Rushikesh Matpati who have said that I have done my MPharm in pharmacology. While looking for job, I have seen that companies are hiring the candidates preferably from the clinical courses, even without the pharma background also.
In clinical research industry, there is no such requirement that you will be MPharm pharmacology or MPharm clinical pharmacy or MPharm clinical research. In clinical research industry, there are people from BSc, MSc, BMS, BHMS, BDS, MBBS, then M pharmacy, B pharmacy, then MSc statistics. Those kind of people are there into the clinical research. So there is as such no requirement laid down by the any CRO that he or she should be from background of M.Pharm clinical practice or M.Pharm clinical research. Anyone can get the job based on their interview performance and their interest. But ideally, as a fresher, you should be very much proactive in finding jobs in CRO or any sponsor in clinical research. Then and then only you will succeed. That is what my thought and experience, that if I don't try, because I am having a career of the lecturer with my guide Bothra sir, and I was much interested in to go to the industry. I have done 6 month lectureship with them, and then I found one as a training job in terms of half salary. I was getting as a lecturer around at that time 14,000, and I was getting with all the facilities, including stay, food, and everything. And when I have got as a fresher training job, I was getting 7,500 in my hand, and I need to pay for my food, house rent, and everything in different city. So ultimately, in my hand, it was like I was getting 2-3 thousand at that time. So it is always, try to see that you find proactively from beginning, and then you will, get the job when you come out. So there is no need of, any kind of specialization that only from clinical research will get the clinical research job. Anyone can get it.
So, difference between a biomedical research and a clinical trial.
Biomedical research is not my subject. What I know is biomedical research is generally like they are doing in hospitals. So that is apart from the clinical trials. Let's say they have a blood sample at large level, large scale. They are collecting. So what they identify, they will identify markers. Let's say there are the HB studies there in the 1 lakh population of one of the hospitals. So they will see the profile of each blood sample collected, and then they will make a data particular HB, and they will see the ratio of the age wise, gender wise. That is the biomedical research in general. And in clinical trial, it is purely drug based. That is, you are testing a new drug in a healthy volunteers or in a actual disease volunteers. So that is the clinical trial. And this kind of clinical trials, they don't have any, proven disease efficacy. That is why they are, doing a trial. And that's why they called as a clinical trial or clinical research. And definitely M.Pharm pharmacology people can go into that particular basic research of biomedical research as well. They can try at the ICMR or National Institute of Virology, Pune, NIV. Those are taking M.Pharm pharmacology people as well. So they can try over there.
So I hope that everyone have clear their queries and questions. Thank you, sir, so much for your cooperation. And also, I would like to thank all the participants and delegates who have joined us from the live YouTube session. There was an interruption, so I'm extremely sorry for that. And thanks a lot for your cooperation. So now I request Dr. Sia Patil, sir, who's the HOD of Pharmacology Department, and sir is being actually the most encouraging faculty for us because he is definitely motivating us for doing such new innovations, new adventures. And recently, due to sir's development of a software, okay, which where animals have been killed, sir has developed a software
where you can actually use it in your lappy or PC, and there is no need to use your to actually kill down the animals. So, sir has received the National Teachers Award from the President of India, and so now I request Dr. C.R. Patil, sir, to please offer certificate to Mr. Somani, sir, as a token of appreciation, and share the concluding remarks about the talk and give the word of thanks. Please, sir.
Okay, so it was really a very interactive session. I have been encouraging my pharmacology department students to ask questions, but that did not happen actually. Yesterday, I had given them strict instruction that each one of them should try to at least ask one question, because these schools are going to join some companies or some jobs after 6 or 7 months or 10 months. But that kind of tendency is still developing. The things are, means the interactions are not becoming very lively actually. See what you are getting out of this kind of interactions is there is a person who is having 18 years of experience in clinical research, clinical trial related research, and he is spending a lot of time. He has traveled for 2 nights to reach you, just out of a feeling that he's your senior, and he is ready to share his experiences with you. This kind of opportunities do not come even if you are paying thousands of rupees. So each one of you should take advantage of this kind of interactions. That's what is expected from you people. For other departments also, repeatedly we are requesting that you should be here at 10:30. So those tools also are not coming, and their HODs also are not taken care that they should push their students to this hall. So sometimes, and then like silly creatures, you enter the room at 11:15, 11:20, something like that happens. What I feel is when an alumnus, let it be from any department, if he is coming and trying to interact with you, it is your we can say intelligent decision to come and sit here and interact with them. I hope this trend will slowly change, because anything that you are doing slowly will be punishable after this. Right? There is a huge competition. If you are expecting that someone should forgive you for coming late, then you are the silliest creature here. Right? You are facing 1,000 times more competition than what we have faced. Right? And we faced 100 times more competition than our teachers had faced. Right? When my teacher did MPharm, there were only 3 MPharm students in entire Maharashtra state. Okay. When I did MPharm in Gujarat University, there were only 9 students of pharmacology in entire Ahmedabad. Okay. When you are doing it, in Shirpur itself, there are 35, 40 students who are doing pharmacology, and 15 more from clinical pharmacy department. So you should have that sense now. You should become alert about what is really happening around you. Okay. And we are repeatedly telling this to our students. Still, they are not taking opportunities to stand up and ask questions, to at least ease their own mind what they are going to do after passing from this particular institution. They are not thinking about it. So that kind of tendency should change. If you rapidly change, you will be rewarded. If you feel that you will still go slowly and someone will be pardoning you for this kind of delays or this kind of inhibitions, then that's not going to happen. You will be punished only. If you cannot talk, you cannot ask questions, you will be punished. If you are not attending sessions properly, you will be punished for that. The situation has come to that level. No one is having time to just groom you and then lovingly talk with you and then train you. If you are getting proper training on your own, that is what is expected. Okay. So we are thankful to our student of first batch. That is again a thing of a great pride for us that our alumni have remained in touch with us for more than 15 years. And then they are still having that kind of bond with our department, our institution, and they are willing to come here. So this is something unique. This is something unique that a student remains in touch with his alma mater. He feels that there is something that he wants to give back to the institution. There is something that he wants to give back to his present generation students. I'm happy for all those who have asked good questions. And it was really almost around 3 hours now. Sir is interacting with you. So when sir is interacting with you, he's going to stay here up to evening. So again, if you're having some questions and if you feel that there is some inhibition in asking questions in front of a group of people, then you can usually meet him. He's being there to at least 4:35 p.m. So that opportunity you can take. And thanks a lot, Sumani, for accepting our invitation and traveling a lot of distance and sparing time from your busy schedule. Okay? That's most important. So, on behalf of all of them, and on behalf of our institution, on behalf of our management, I'm really thankful to you for sparing time for us and so nicely interacting with your juniors and telling them the reality of field today. So instead of creating some very colorful picture, you have told them what really is needed, what kind of attitude is needed to enter into industry, and then no doubt you are going to flourish there. Okay. So with this few remarks, I would like to ask Ashada Madam to continue.
Thank you so much, sir, for your concluding remarks. So I hope that everyone have gained some motivational knowledge from this definitely a power talk, a power alumni talk. So now, with the permission of dignitaries, I declare that this event is over. Yeah, sorry, sir wants to continue.
Sir has raised topics, so I just thought one question to all of you to ask. How many you are able to write, email in a professional way? Just raise a hand. Professional way, I say. Not just sake of writing. So this is the basic requirement of the industry. That is my, genuine request. Learn how to write an email. When we were in school, we were writing a leave application, right? In study. Every school have some topic, either writing application to your teacher or something. Similarly, in industry, if you want to come, just make a habit of writing in a professional way, not in a abrupt way. So professional way writing is one of the first priority and requirement, and if you write properly and skillfully in industry, you will be go up very fast. So one thing that you can learn sessions, this how to write, professional writing or email writing etiquettes we call. Even when I join in every organization, we have a training SOP that how to write an email etiquettes. A special session has been arranged in each organization. If we know as well, also we have to attend that session, that email etiquettes. So try to learn professional email etiquettes. That is what, and those who are in second year student, what sir said, if you are not interacting or not communicating with anyone, or just like sitting and reading and you're doing your work and living at home, so that kind of attitude will never helpful in industry. You should be talkative or communicative with your colleague, with your sir, with your professors. That is the requirement of the current trends in industry. There is in Gujarati we know they bole na bol vechai. That kind of kahavat is there. So jo bolta hai wahi bikta hai. That is in Hindi what we say. So you need to come out and speak yourself. And then only you will interact with the people into the industry. If you don't speak and just stay calm and just sit and just listen and go away, then you just got the knowledge in your mind, but not the skills in your hand. So you need to very much interactive while in lab also make a conversation with your people or maybe with your colleague or friends. into the professional communication way. So that kind of skill development during your study will be helpful into the industry. So that is what at the end I want to say as well.
Thank you once again, sir. I thank you all the participants and all the students and the delegates for their encouraging participation. So now with the permission of dignitaries, I declare that the program is over. Thank you so much.